Yo, welcome to the Table Talk podcast, where we sit down, pull up a chair, and we get started. This podcast is designed to provide you packed full of information to help you with your training, nutrition, lifestyle, and well-being, where we interview myself through case studies to give you lifetime experience. And then we also interview high-performing individuals or other career-focused people who are looking to make changes in their lifestyle, training, nutrition, and well-being. So let's pull up that chair and let's go. Yo, welcome to the Time to Own Your Health and Fitness with myself, Karl McKenna, the hostess with the mostest. So what is health and fitness? Well, if you look up the definition, it is health is the ability to move without pain, and fitness is the ability to move. Fitness is the ability to move without pain, and health is absence of disease or dis-ease in your day-to-day life. For a lot of people, we tend to chase the fitness side. I got to train, I got to exercise, I got to do more, and I'll get rid of this and I'll get rid of that, and this will tighten up. But really, if you were to break it down into some fundamental, like some call it pillars, we call it the hierarchy of health, or we've also got it as a dish. So for those that are interested in what you hear today, we have a client Bible coming out that'll give you the tips and tricks to break it all down. But when we look at the training manual, which I'm pulling up right now, we have what used to be called a wheel. So we used to have a wheel for health and well-being. And the 8 things we would look at would be sleep, stress recovery management, training, lifestyle, food quality, gut health, macronutrients, and total calories. And really, if you worked on one of those, it would have an impact on everything. But really, if we look at it as a hierarchy of health, which is what a lot of us tend to avoid, is really stress. Yep, you heard me say it, stress management. So a lot of the time, and if you think about it, think about a time when you had a fight with a friend or an argument and it just sits on your mind and you're like, or when your partner eats all of your chocolates, all of it, and you had 3 pieces and then you only get 1. So not all of it, but most of it. And you're like, oh, that bitch. And so you have a term of stress. Stress is obviously a state of perception that we all take on, and it sits and festers in us for a period of time. And we just need that ability to snap out of it. Like training, we cause the stress and then we adapt, we rest, we sleep, we recover, happy days. However, with the hierarchy, if we look at stress as a fundamental or the management systems that we have in place, that is our base. Really, if you were to decrease the stress in your life, you could recover faster, you would probably be able to train harder, do a lot more, cognitively be more alert, you wouldn't feel tired when you wake up. That is really the one thing you should be looking after and taking care of. If that is then managed, then there's less stress on the body, hormones, everything upregulated, cognitive function, you name it, is all there. And people would call that the endocrine system. And then on top of that, you then got your macronutrients, which has a trickle effect. But really, if you're super stressed, think about when you came home from a big day, you are exhausted and you don't have your exhaustion protocol in place. You then find yourself snacking on foods. So you kind of feel like you're that second person who's just observing yourself, like, I can't believe I'm eating that chocolate again. And then you've eaten the whole thing and then you go, bugger, and you feel guilty about it. So we're going to give you some strategies today, which if anyone, obviously Angel on this, she'll have some of her own challenges at the moment. So we'll do a bit of a case study with her. But for anyone that's really tuning in, we all find that our own problems are quite unique to us. But really, the macro and the micronutrients and everything else is kind of like the small thing. And that's what a lot of people are focused on. They're focused on the minor thing and think it's going to have a big impact. Like if you're struggling, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're overweight, you're going to start training. And the next day you are still where you were before, right? A lot of us tend to think that the training is the magic pill and that's going to fix everything. Bad news is it's not. It's not the magic pill. It probably stops you from wanting to kill someone. So that's probably lucky, keeps you out of jail. Though from the stress management side, it's temporary. But the thing is, the stress that you removed yourself from is still there. Now, there are things like supplementation, and people call them the sprinkles, but supplements can help you to manage what you're going through. Because if you think about 5-10 years ago, where you used to be versus where you are now, you're much further ahead, right? But sometimes having the supplements and the right strategies and guides in place can help you to manage your time and expectations a lot quicker. So instead of it taking this long, we shorten it and quantify it so it's a lot easier. So you can then handle all the stress. So all that stress could be remunerating or bubbling away, and you're just like cool as a cucumber. Yep, I say cool as a cucumber. Why? I have no idea. It's just a saying that just rolls off the tongue. Cool as a cucumber. And you're just able to manage it. Like the stress is all there, but you're able to then remove yourself and come back on. Instead of always being on that phone and stressing out, you're able to put it down. Deep breaths. And if you're listening right now and you're like, man, that is me. I can't get off my phone. Like I'm on social media. I'm scrolling like Angel last week, scrolling and scrolling for 4 hours. What is that about? And it's cheap dopamine here. So little tip you can do, put your finger in your nose and just breathe through one nostril. Then you put it back on. Block it, other nostril, and really push it out. So you might get some boogers and then breathe in through that nostril and out. Now, what for some of us, we might feel even blocked. This comes from yoga. So what we do is we actually, fingers like so, we push up against our sinus cavity. We actually use the thumb. So visually, it's easier to show with one finger, but you get your index finger, middle finger, and you push it into the eyebrow, press up, and you'll notice, so like just breathe now. A little bit easier. You can also get sinus strips to pull up your sinuses. So you can get your fingers in there, pull all the way up to help with the breath, and then you block one. And if you're looking at this camera, it doesn't look very sexy, but all you're doing is you're pulling all up that fascial strip to get your sinus cavities to open up so you can get that breath. And that's a way to just calm the nervous system down and chill the hell out. By doing that, you're probably going to have less desire reaching for the phone because dopamine is what's going to make you feel that happy. It's that happy hormone. You feel really good. You feel rewarded and acknowledged. And usually when you're stressed and overwhelmed, what are you looking for? Something to satisfy your urge. Guess what? Chocolate, ice cream, it does it. If you want to take it to the next level, mix the two together. Game changer. So that's cheap dopamine, or that's a good dopamine hit. And guess what? You're then going to crave it even more. Because when you have a high amount of stress, you're burning a lot of energy, but that's only for a short period of time. For a lot of us, stress is only meant to last a few minutes, but we compound that daily for hours and hours. Disclaimer, this is all for educational purposes. We're not psychologists or doctors. So if you have any questions, reach out to those people. But however, having trouble with anxiety, which is really just, she had a lot of ideas and concepts and things that she wanted to do, but she wasn't having a systemized plan. So what would happen is she would just dabble into one of each of them. She's like, I'll do a little bit now and I'll do this and then I'll do that. And okay, then I'll pick up the phone and then like, oh, I got to distract myself and I'll hit YouTube and then, okay, all right, cool. Okay, that's okay, great. All right. Oh my God, I'm tired. Oh, I'll just take a little break, but nothing's been done. And this happens to a lot of us and it really paralyzes us where we're like, I just feel like I can't do anything. I've just got so much to do. And I get it. I've got giant to-do lists. They suck. And the thing to back yourself up with is that's okay. These things happen. You've got to find a strategy. And this is where, exercise for some of us can clear the head. It's great. The stress is still there. What is the strategy that you could do within 5 minutes? Like my breath's even longer now, which is great. That's just doing it once to calm you down. There's priming breaths. You've got trampolines. Trampoline's my funnest one. Stimulates the lymphatic system, so it does two things at once. There's all these little strategies that you can implement right away. So that nostril breath is a freebie for you. Give it a go, crack it out, and see how you feel literally when you finish your day at work. Give that a go and let me know how you feel. Do it for literally 5 deep breaths and then go home and see how you feel around loved ones and give them a big hug, not for me, but for yourself, and play with that. So that's a quick intro into our Prezzo and a little bit about the hierarchy of health. If you're someone who's interested in learning more, jump onto the next interview or seminar, webinar, and we'll see you next time. Adios, amigos. Hey, thanks so much for joining the episode of Table Talk today. We hope you found some helpful tips and inspiration in staying healthy and fit, even with a busy schedule. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. Stay tuned for our next conversation. Until then, keep prioritizing yourself, your health, your fitness, and we'll see you on the next Table Talk.